And here we go, AFC North football at the bank. It is the battle of two teams that know a whole lot about each other, and not for a good reason. It is the Baltimore Ravens, led by the two-time MVP at quarterback Lamar Jackson, playing host to the team that gave him a purpose and a city, thanks to the Art Modell moving at the end of the 1995 season. The Cleveland Browns led today by quarterback Joe Flacco. Old man Joe makes his return to Baltimore. This game is going to be very sentimental for the 40-year-old quarterback trying to make a name for himself in a different place, a place that called itself home before Baltimore was even in the National Football League altogether. Looking forward, though, to a great battle between these two teams. Always seems like it is a 1-1 season split between the Ravens and the Browns, and if not, every game at the bare minimum comes down to the wire. Doesn't matter how good or how bad they are, it just happens to be that way. Dustin Hopkins stepping up to the tee, and we are underway from the bank in Baltimore, Maryland. Ravens will begin on offense here with a great return out to the 29-yard line, and here comes Lamar Jackson looking to shake off the loss from last week in a blowout on Sunday Night Football against the Bills. They fell 38-20. Josh Allen had 5 touchdowns. Really just ugly, all things considered, as we welcome everybody joining me today. John Zeller, Simpson, so were you Lav Games, and everybody else joining me throughout, as Eagle as well. Jackson going to open up from the pistol with a handoff to King Henry up the middle, forging his way forward to pick up a modest gain of 3 yards on the opening play. Talk about the Browns real quick. They fell in week 1 as well. At home, 17-6 in the lowest scoring game of the week to the Cincinnati Bengals. It was close all throughout. It's just an ugly game, though, from the Browns. Actually, I think the game was 16-7. Now that I think about it. Either way, though, both teams starting 0-1 after their opening week game. Baltimore looking to get on the right track here at home. Checked out, caught by Rashad Bateman, and he's collapsed upon at the 40-yard line. Ravens offense moving downfield diligently. Early on here, there is the Minnesota Gopher with the catch and turnaround. Drive going to end in a Lamar Jackson rushing touchdown. We have not yet had one of those. Feel like we might be due. That is a good take. Derrick Henry with 1 carry, and Lamar Jackson with 1 pass. Right back to the king they go, trying to break away from what looks like Devin Bush there up top. Could not quite escape the former Pittsburgh Steeler. I think I'm definitely wrong on that. It's a shame I still don't have numbers. I think Devin Bush switched, though. What up, Flash Gordon? What up, Mocha PCP? The Browns versus the Browns. Was talking about that earlier. It's the truth. Likely in here as an extra blocker. Handoff is to Henry, and there's the rookie, Mason Graham, getting to it in the backfield, taking 5th overall out of the University of Michigan. Browns are expecting great things out of him this year. Hoping to fill a hole in the run game just like that. That is purposefully what they drafted him for there. Love to see. What up, Ethan Hess? Kate Scott's brother or something? All right, well, I'm not sure to take that complimentary or not, but we'll take it. 3rd and 7 for the Ravens, and some early movement from a couple of different players in purple. This will end up being a false start, and some self-inflicted wounds on the opening drive for Baltimore. Justice Hill will be the one flagged, although there was an O-lineman there as well. Probably could have got it. Wish we had it anything or everybody but the center. Type of false start. Not this time, though. We'll hope for in the future. False start makes it a 3rd and 12 for Lamar Jackson from the empty. The 2-time MVP going downfield, almost intercepted. Greg Newsome on the pass breakup. And let me lock into my inner Chris Collinsworth. Now, here's a guy that had a pick 6 against the Ravens a couple of years ago in a crazy win and come from behind fashion for the Browns in 2023. Jordan Stout on now for the punt. Browns get an opening drive stop, something they pride themselves in defensively. Fair catch called for by DeAndre Carter, the former Los Angeles Charger. Ball marked at the 18 for old man Joe Flacco. What up, Dojan Ty? Now, right now, there is not even close to a clear-cut QB1 for the Browns. I've been racking my brain on whether or not to start Pickett. Mary Kay, who's the Browns' closest reporter, claims Pickett is in the driver's seat. He has looked really bad in OTAs, though, and I expect Flacco to get the start. And a story of all stories, Joe Flacco back in the bank in the visiting locker room, delivering dimes, though, to the sideline. Picks up just about the full 10 yards, and I think that was Deontay Johnson with the catch there. Appreciate you, Mocha PCP. Can't imagine that the pick-up today is close. It is not. 29-3. We will talk about that in a moment, though. Quinshon Judkins, the Ohio State Buckeye, in the backfield here. David Njoku is in motion. Goes out, now back in. Second and inches, handoff is to Judkins, and he breaks free with a nice 10-yard pickup. Browns trying to turn him into something of what Nick Chubb was before his injury. Obviously, that is just not going to get replicated. Will Sanders be the Browns' future? I hope so. If not, though, it's just a fifth rounder. It is what it is. Pick him today, though, 29-3. With a Browns win, we will still have 2 undefeated pickups. Pretty crazy. Each team now with 1 first down to their name, and now some movement up front. And based on the reaction of what looks like Joe Batonio, no. This is going on the Ravens. Wow. Well, that body language was telling me that was going against the Browns O-line. And instead, it is John Jenkins jumping offside. The Browns will have a first and short. Not going to lie, TV broadcast would be better if they had a live chat. Honestly, wouldn't it? Ravens now with their second penalty today. 1 on each side of the football. Browns have it first and 5, right into the hands of David Njoku, turning upfield, breaking a couple tackles en route to a first down. Into the Raven half of the football field. The 44-yard line is where it ends up. They can straight up say a player is bad. That would be funny. I wish the commentators would read the comments too. Would be even better. Some good hypotheticals can come out of that. No targets just yet for Jerry Jeudy in press coverage. Here is Flacco off the play action. So dangerous out of this formation, downfield, and connecting with Cedric Tillman. There's the Tennessee Volunteer into the red zone. Do not let Joe Flacco get off the play action. Ravens should know this more than anybody. That is a dangerous man. Now here's the guy who's going to be playing into the UFL next year, for real. Browns are the first team to crack open the red zone in the opening quarter. Joe Flacco barking out orders like the generally is at QB1. Fires this one back corner of the end zone, and Tillman pays the price. Big hit there by Nate Wiggins in a pass breakup at a crucial part of the field. Pretty decent day today at Ocean Tie. Worked 11:30 to 5, so got home, streamed, and here we are. Second and 10 now. Outside handoff is to Judkins. Got a great downfield block. Could not break through, though. Roquan Smith saves the touchdown. 8-yard gain. 9 yards to carry now for the former Buckeye. What up, Cassim? Doing good, my friend. It is games. That's who you're looking for. Browns now facing a 3rd and short. Raven fans on their feet at the bank, and a big pass breakup by Marlon Humphrey. And now a choice for Kevin Stefanski. Usually tends to be a gambling man in these circumstances, but obviously the Browns have not scored a lot of points, so will they take them? Not here. Offense is going to stay on the field on a 4th down and 2. Flacco from under center. Hands off to Judkins, and he will lose yardage. Huge stop for Baltimore. Ravens forced the turnover on downs. Broderick Washington wins the race to the backfield. Gets away from Wyatt Teller right there. And the Ravens will take over. Got to respect that decision, 100%. No sense in going for a field goal when you're playing a team like Baltimore. You need all the points you can get. But then again, you left 3 on the board right there. It is what it is. I feel like if you were going to go for it on 4th down, why not run it on 3rd down? Madden doesn't quite understand that. Not this year. Maybe next. We'll see. Work at a soccer stadium here in Europe. I actually work at a baseball stadium in America. So pretty close ties right there. 89-yard football field now for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Pinpole right side. Derrick Henry cannot escape. Boy, the Browns were swarming there. Lamar Jackson got taken down Mason Rudolph style by Myles Garrett. Fortunately, all helmets remain on heads that time. And the play ends in just a 1.5-yard pickup for the Ravens. Justice Hill will check in now. On 2nd and 9, there is DeAndre Hopkins, had 3 touchdown catches last week, and a one-hander as well as, wow, Lamar Jackson is pummeled at a 1-yard gain. Holy cow. Browns are bringing some smoke in the backfield today. Isaiah McGuire, 3rd rounder out of Missouri, off the edge. Whoa. I don't even make that much. My job ain't that serious. Really, it's an internship, but it's cool. Both plays there gain just a single yard. Brings up 3rd and 8 for the Ravens. Isaiah McGuire ready to pounce again. Jackson down the middle, connecting with Bateman for the 2nd time today. Good pass, good conversion. Crowd back into it. Ravens offense into it. Trying to keep the drive moving in the forward direction. Good play by Baltimore. That'll pick up 22 yards. Ravens now looking to begin a march down the field. Derrick Henry back in on 1st and 10. All eyes on the king in the backfield here. Jackson, though, off the play action, tries to find him out of the backfield, and a terrific tackle made for a 2-yard loss. Roddy Hickman with a big hit on Lamar Jackson. He has been getting beaten and battered every time he has had the ball in his football in his hands. Doesn't matter if he's throwing it, running it. It is what it is. What up, Aaron? Loss of 2 there for Derrick Henry on the reception. Brings up 2nd down, and it does it. 7-man rush, and Rashad Bateman able to collect that one. Looked like the Browns were going to bring an extra safety there. May have been a 6-man rush when it was all said and done. Ends up going for 6 yards. Game's flexing the Ravens Flock emo, Flock Nation. Shout out ChatGPT for that one. Appreciate it, Santorio. Just over 2 to go now in the opening quarter. Ravens looking to become the first team on the board in week number 2 in a battle of winless teams thus far. Down the field he goes, connecting with DeAndre Hopkins again for the 1st down. A connection that they will hope to prove cementing time and time again, these two. That was Carson Schweschinger. Just trying to rack the roster to figure out who that was. Taken 33rd overall out of UCLA. Browns hope he can replace JOK, who will miss a lot of this season. Football loose, and the Ravens do recover at the line of scrimmage. Boy, that was a late fumble, too. Baltimore fortunate to not have the opening turnover. Lamar might be the fantasy GOAT. He was in 2019, that is for certain. Punch formation to the left side of Jackson. And as that is mentioned, Hopkins in motion. Newsome follows in suit. Lamar from the 40, flat-footed, well-protected, fires sideline, and wide open is Rashad Bateman falling backwards for an 8-yard pickup across midfield, though, into Browns territory. Solid chunk play, and Bateman has been wide receiver 1 a lot today. No targets yet for Zay Flowers. Ravens going to run heavy here. On 3rd and 2, why not, with Derrick Henry in the backfield with a mean stiff arm, but he will end up losing 3 on the play. Denzel Ward ate that stiff arm so Jordan Hicks could run and make a 3-yard TFL. Derrick Henry now averaging less than a yard a carry after a really strong performance last week. And their shortcoming against Buffalo. And that'll push John Harbaugh away from questioning. Going for it on 4th down. Browns are going to take over. Fair catch signaled for this one. Bounces into the end zone for the touchback. 13 ticks left in the opening quarter. And despite having 10 on the clock, we still, in all likelihood, will finish the first quarter without points. The Browns love that. A team that is going to rely heavily on their defense this year. More than happy to have scrappy games like this. Shadur Site, yes indeed. Taken in around 5 out of Colorado. A couple more losses for the Browns. We may see him as Judy drops that one right through his palms. Unfortunate there. For the former Denver Bronco, a terrific first year in Cleveland. Set his personal record for yards in a season. Thanks to having famous Jameis, he'll also love a gunslinger in Joe Flacco. Most yards in a revenge game by any wide receiver in NFL history, and a check down again right in the lap of Njoku, and he just wasn't ready for it. Browns offense pick it up where they left off last year, actually, ironically, right here at M&T Bank Stadium. They lost their last game of the season on a Saturday, as the Ravens went on to win the AFC North. Browns, though, looking for something to go their way on a 3rd and 10. Final play of the opening quarter. Flacco will check this one down, and a big hit, but a catch is made. Looks like Deontay Johnson. There he is. How long will his attitude keep him in Cleveland? Guess we'll have to find out. But for now, the Browns have a first down at the end of one, all tied at 0. Flipping sides of the field now to begin quarter number 2 with a handoff to Quinshad Judkins. Good vision. Picking up 4 yards there. He's averaging 5 a carry, and Derrick Henry averaging less than a yard a carry right now. Is Jerry Jeudy a bust? You know, for where he got drafted, I think you could consider him a bust, but still a very solid player. What up, Chili? Judkins picking up 4 on carry number 4. Flacco back through the air, a little bit behind Jeudy, but enough for the first down. Gain of 6 in the Browns now. Starting to drive a little bit. How long until Deontay Johnson finds himself with the Bengals? Ooh, I don't know. It's not a first down. It may have been. Kind of hard to tell from all the way up here. Going to be back in the bank, though. Raven fans looking forward to a big year after a disappointing end of last season. Good tackle made there on Quinshad Judkins. Try to get a look at the number. And we are going to go with Odefa Owe on that tackle. That's a guess. Got about a 1/7 chance of being correct. So we're going to go with it. Once again, a Ravens flock on their feet here. At the bank, Flacco from under center, the former Raven. Downfield he goes, checks it down to David Njoku. 3rd and inches for the Browns, and maybe opening up the playbook. With that result, up to the Raven 48-yard line. Joe Flacco played, you know what that means? I feel like I know what that means, subliminally. We'll see, though. 3rd down and about a foot here for the Browns. Handoff is to Judkins, weaving through defenders. Good vision. Again, another first down rush. Wow, that was actually surprisingly well coordinated for a guy that is not even implemented into Madden. Just a roster update by our guy, NFL Roster Guru on YouTube. Huge shout out to him. Jerry Jeudy now lining up in the slot. And another handoff here is to Quinshad Judkins up the middle. Another big gainer, 10 more. Up to the 31-yard line. Game's one of the fantasy days so far. There really has not been a lot of action. Had to wait for the opening touchdown. Nobody took Quinshad Judkins, though. And I can't blame anybody. Who would have thought he would be leading most players here today? Maybe he'll be the one showing Derrick Henry how to run a football. Stretch handoff left side. There goes Judkins inside the red zone. Stiff arm laid down inside the 10. 60 yards rushing in the opening half for Quinshad Judkins. Showing off that running style he displayed in the national championship game in the win against Notre Dame back in January. Wow. This is what they missed, though. Browns were unable to implement the run a lot last season. Very battered and bruised. Here is Judkins, carry number 9. Catapulted backward by Roquan Smith. Joe Flacco now walking over to the sideline, ready to get the call from the commander-in-chief and Kevin Stefanski. New offensive coordinator this year for the Browns as well. Tommy Rees will take over. Still the old Jim Schwartz at defensive coordinator. Ravens again looking for a stop inside their own 10-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 5. Chief David Njoku is in motion. Flacco, the handoff to Judkins up the middle again. And the workhorse continuing to be fed here with a 2-yard pickup. Notice Judkins, well, checking out Emeka Egbuka. He's been nice. Browns always run well, the Ravens, especially here. Not sure why on the road, but we always do. A lot of press coverage across the board here. On 3rd and goal, Flacco trying to pick out a mismatch, finds his tight end, David Njoku, for the opening touchdown. And the Browns strike first. Upset brewing? Who knows? Good drive there from old man Joe, getting revenge at the bank. The 40-year-old returning home, looking for an upset win in week 2. All right. Where's your pick? Maybe Lamar's going to have it. He did not throw one last week. Only had the one fumble that really set the swingage of the momentum in the 18-point loss. Classic Browns drive. It really is. We have one drive a game where we just absolutely march. We'll see the recap after the Dustin Hopkins extra point. Up and good. 13-play, 80-yard, nearly a 5-minute drive for Joe Flacco. And really, Quinshon Judkins put that drive together with his legs. Did not end up getting the touchdown. They gave it to him on 1st and 2nd goal, though, to get the ball down to the 3. But an excellent drive, though, there from the rookie. Just such a very interesting team, how the Browns are going to have to mesh. A lot of experience at certain places, but a lot of youth in many other positions across the board. Offense, defense, special teams. Browns, though, looking for another stop defensively. Justice Hill on the return, and Justice is served at the 26-yard line. Jackson will take over. 5:21 left in the opening half. Ravens still scoreless through just about 15 full minutes here. Who would have saw that coming? Never thought about that. Wrong team won last night. Don't let it happen again. I mean, hey, Madden has their way, no matter what is said. Ravens back to it, trailing. Once again, trying to not dig themselves too deep of a hole like last week. Blitz coming here. Jackson hit as he fires. Knocked to his back again. And he is just being beat up in the backfield. Isaiah McGuire giving that man nightmares right now. Although I'm not sure he was the one that got there. Take a look at the replay here on my end. Try to see who won the race. Mason Graham with the quarterback hit. Big play. Browns force another Raven incompletion. Back to Derrick Henry they go. Carson Sweshinger helping out with the tackle. Jordan Hicks with the wrap up again. Seems to be the plan for the Browns. Just make Derrick Henry go one way, put all of his body weight in one direction, and let Jordan Hicks clean up, even if they give up an extra yard or two. It's been working out pretty well so far. How long will that last, though? Derrick Henry due for a breakout carry at some point. Zay Flowers in motion. He has not touched the football yet today. That'll continue. Check down is caught by DeAndre Hopkins. Ravens drive continues. Slow start. But they have the ball up to the 40. Keep in mind, field goal range is not a given anymore, with Tyler Luke missing a 43-yarder last week, which also hurt him big time. A lot of points left on the board there that the Ravens would miss dearly after that loss. Pass downfield, incomplete. Flowers tried to catch that with one hand, and that is what he gets for showing off a drop. What up, Sports Masters? Is Lamar Jackson in the quarterback big three? I think he has to be. It has to be Mahomes, Allen, and Jackson at this point. Burrow needs an MVP first, I think. A drop there for Baltimore. Something they dealt with a lot a couple of years ago. Here is Jackson off the play action. Going to find Derrick Henry wide open. In an open space, he makes guys miss. A couple of broken tackles, almost a first down. Running through guys like it's his job. How many tackles did he break right there? Spins off the first, breaks Devin Bush, and just kind of ignores Martin Everson Jr. on his way out of bounds. 9.5 yards picked up there. What a play, though. 3rd and inches now for Baltimore. And a direct snap here for Lamar Jackson up the middle. Almost broke free. Schlesinger saves the touchdown. Well, we've seen a lot of direct snaps to the running backs. I guess I really should have said direct snap. That was more of a quarterback draw. Caught me off guard, though. Had the same animation as when a running back gets the football. Jackson picks up the first down, though. Ravens are approaching scoring territory here. Handoff is to Henry, and he is brought down for a loss again. Mason Graham could not fool me and tell me he's a rookie. What up, LaShawn? Browns up is crazy. Their defense, man, they have just been hungry. Every TFL, chipping away. And Lamar Jackson takes a hit just about every time he touches the football. Not this time, though. Quick pass out there to Rashad Bateman. Jordan Hicks again with a huge wrap-up. Bateman, though, picks up catch number 5 on the day. They always talk about the Bateman instead of Batman commercial. Always think of Rashad Bateman. Should have been in that instead. Missed opportunity. Myles Garrett looking to get hungry here. Yet to record a stat through nearly 2 full quarters. Here is Jackson down the middle. Wide open Mark Andrews. Got a great downfield block as well to the 11-yard line. And the Browns will have to deal with an injury as well. Malik Collins, former San Francisco 49er and defensive tackle here for Cleveland, goes down with an injury, stopping the clock with 2:18 to go in the second quarter. Ravens looking to tie it up before halftime. Don't want to leave too much time, though, for a Cleveland rebuttal. We'll see what happens, though. Touchdown would have been huge there for fantasy, for sure. Ravens looking for an answer back, though. After the opening Browns touchdown, here's Henry up the middle. And met nearly immediately. That time by Isaiah McGuire. Well, talk about Myles Garrett being the dominant force he is. Now that he has some help, though, with Mason Graham. And perhaps a developing Isaiah McGuire. Going to make the life of this Browns defense a lot easier as we hit the 2-minute warning. Right back to it. D-Hop in press coverage up top. Dangerous decision for the Cleveland Browns on 2nd and 10 from the 11-yard line. Swing pass going to Derrick Henry. He will walk to the end zone, and the Ravens on the board themselves. That'll go down as a receiving touchdown, I believe. Lamar, though, finding his back on a lateral pass. That'll wind up working out for the touchdown. Baltimore right back in it at home. We'll double check afterwards, but I think for right now you can rule that a pass. Big time, though, for the fantasy Lamar with his opening touchdown of the game, and that also goes to Derrick Henry. Browns and Ravens about to be all tied up here, pending an extra point by Tyler Loop, the rookie. Browns will have a 2-minute drill to take the lead back as we are all tied at 7. Games with a $10 dono. Big Derrick for the tutty. Appreciate it, my friend. This guy's just made of money or something like that. Big time dono for the boy games. Andy became a member yesterday. Shout out to the homie. Browns now with a $156 in all 3 timeouts. What can they do from here? Ravens fans ecstatic, finally on the board. It took them over 18 minutes to score. Browns defense cannot hang on any longer. Back to it on the offensive end, though. They're starting to get warm. And a return for DeAndre Carter. Taken here, up across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Appreciate you, games. And don't forget to spam that Ravens Flock logo whenever you get the chance to flaunt it around. Browns leaving the Ravens in the game. I mean, they weren't leading for very long, but they are leaving the lead. Best way I can describe that. Minute 51 for Joe Flacco. Led the Browns to the postseason back in 2023, a legacy run. And a comeback player of the year award going to him as that pass broken up last moment by Marlon Humphrey. 3rd pass breakup today. Saved the touchdown on the opening drive. And he has just been putting himself on the line play after play to make play after play. What a guy. Baltimore, though, would like the football back before halftime. Strong side blitz is coming. Passes out there and caught by Deontay Johnson. Up to the 45-yard line. Gain of 14. Good there on Flacco to realize the blitzer coming from his strong side. Found a little bit of a mismatch in timing. Connects there with a first down. Browns up to the 45. Flacco being pressured downfield again, and again he will find his man to the 39-yard line. Another dime. Deontay Johnson starting to heat up here with the Cleveland Browns. I'm not sure how realistic that'll be. Yet here we are. Browns are just about into Dustin Hopkins' range. Struggled a lot last year. Looking to bounce back at 25. Flacco spins, finds Quinshon Judkins being chased by Roquan Smith. Hangs on for the first down, though. What a drive going on here from Joe Flacco. 3 consecutive first downs now as the Browns take their first time out at the Raven 17. Wow. Good time to remind you guys, if you have not yet already, drop a like on the stream. Close game so far. Entertainment value definitely up there. Ravens trying to force a red zone turnover. Don't want to give up any more points before halftime. Flacco left side and right on cue. Intercepted by Nate Wiggins. Couldn't have timed that up better. I'd call that pick. A-Rod been real quiet since that one. Wow. And there is Nate Wiggins making his name known in the bank. That pass a little bit too behind Cedric Tillman. And all for the keepings for Nate Wiggins. Well, that's disappointing. For me, at least. But don't worry, I took the Ravens in my pick 'em. So in the long game, I guess this will work out better. But looked like the Browns were going to take the lead before halftime. And all of a sudden, now the Ravens want a chance to do the same. See what happens. I might be SM. I might be. It might be me. Browns now have left 2 possessions empty-handed in the red zone. Turnover on downs and the interception. Screen pass set up here to Justice Hill. And he is brought down out of bounds at the 19-yard line. So clock is stopped, timeout is saved. And we will see what the Ravens have drawn up now on a 2nd and 6. I'm going to hold you. I turned around to see it in real time. I'm the interception guru. Okay, I like that. Zay Flowers now up top. Mark Andrews in motion. Set up that last touchdown for Baltimore. Looking to complete one here, though. Pass downfield, right back to DeAndre Hopkins, a deep target up to the 41. Ravens take their opening timeout. 36 seconds to go now before halftime. Get Justice out of there. Unfortunately, it is Justice Hill time in the 2-minute drill. Better receiving back because he can turn his shoulders a lot quicker. Derrick Henry, a one-direction type of quarterback, or running back, I should say. He is on the field this time, though, on a 1st and 10. Likely going to act as an extra blocker here. Jackson off the play action, steps up, being chased by Myles Garrett. Lamar wins this race, though. Across the 50-yard line, timeout Ravens. 29 seconds to go. Schweschinger on the tackle. What up, the mock draft guy? How did Hub not get picked after last week? That is true. I thought it was like a 1-week wonder type of thing. I thought he wasn't due. Might be wrong, though. Ravens trying to secure points here and take their first lead before halftime. En route to dangerous pass, but Bateman collects it at the 35. That is verbatim the play that Joe Flacco just threw a pick on. And in all likelihood, that was going to return to the end zone for Cleveland. To no avail. Ravens take their final timeout. That was not a pick 6. That's what I'm saying. Still no defensive touchdown this year. Kind of shocking. Baltimore out of timeouts. Cannot afford to get tackled inbounds here. From the 35, Browns rush 4. Jackson well protected. Steps up in the pocket. Climbing, and he takes off, and he cannot escape. And that is going to make them run out of time here. Why did he take off? Well then, halftime is reached at the bank. All square at 7. Yeah, I saw that one coming. What's funny is even without accelerated clock, that was going to happen. I don't think Lamar was... You saw him like fighting himself to climb there. He didn't want to step up, but then another animation of the tackle overruled the throwaway animation there. That was my projection, but yeah, not very smart. That is brutal. Almost going to be disappointing if the Browns lose this game. At this point, yeah. Second half underway, though, after a disastrous end to half number 1 for the Ravens. And down the sideline, Jerome Ford on the return up to the 45. Nice spark on special teams from the 6th rounder out of Cincinnati. As Quinshon Judkins back to it, though, getting the starting running back reps most recently in OTAs for the Browns. And here we go. Joe Flacco has a shortened football field. He might actually prefer a full 70-yard field over 55. Likes to air it out from time to time. Nonetheless, though, excellent starting field position for Cleveland to begin the third quarter. Check down, caught by Judkins. Great tackle. Made it in the open field. No gain picked up that time. All right, well, we're going to throw out the live poll now on who you guys think is going to win this game. Didn't expect it to be this close right now. And yet, here we are. The Browns and Ravens all tied up at 7 in the third quarter. Flacco from the shotgun. Good blocking again. Downfield, almost a diving pick again for Nate Wiggins. Ooh. I'm going to be honest. You guys might think that Madden's hating on Baltimore. They're kind of hating on the Browns today. Think about it. Red zone turnover on downs and a red zone pick. Browns could be up 2 scores right now. 3rd and 10, nearly the second INT for Nate Wiggins today. Flacco goes downfield, finds the former Steeler again. Deontay Johnson has really been making his name felt here at the bank. Never expected that. Checking it down there into the open zone. Marlon Humphrey late to the party. David Njoku to the right side of Joe Flacco. 2 targets left and right. This one, though, going to Jerry Jeudy up to the 37. Has to be Madden hating on us or something. Sliders going wrong. It could be. Browns would never have those chances if it were realistic. I mean, we beat you guys like once a year. You know? It's only fair that we split in some capacity. 7 yards picked up there by Jerry Jeudy. Handoff up the middle is to Quinshon. Judkins cannot escape the open arms of Roquan Smith. He'll lose a half yard. And again, set up a 3rd and short for this Browns offense. They like 3rd and short, though. They've been living in this 3rd and short all afternoon and thriving off it for the most part. Pick'em is somewhat split today. I like it. In the live chat, I should say. Ravens looking to make a stop here on 3rd and 3. Flacco with an out route. Knocked away, incomplete by Kyle Hamilton. And again, a choice to be made by Kevin Stefanski. I think at this point you take your field goal. I think that would be the right choice. Will the Browns abide by my logic? What? All right then. Wind blowing in the face of Dustin Hopkins, so the Browns will punt this one away. Corey Bojorquez, the best in the business, out of bounds, and a touchback is the call. Yeah, that's brutal. Madden had option A and option B, and they chose option C. Like, I just have to know. I have to look at, like, the programming, the ones and zeros. Like, what makes them make these decisions? And again, Madden's just hating on my content. They're not even hating on a specific team anymore. Man. That's all good games. Ravens back to it from the 20-yard line. Still all tied up at 7 after all of that. Handoff is to Derrick Henry. Hits the second level. Brought down from behind by Greg Newsome. West 100 married men, you just realized you got all your winning lottery numbers. What are you doing before you tell your wife? That's a great question. I like this little chat trivia. Terrific patience there, though. From Derrick Henry, Lamar from under center fires an out route, caught by DeAndre Hopkins up to the 34. That's an 8-yard pickup. D-Hop starting to get warm here at home. King Henry is starting to turn up. D-Hop is starting to get fired up as well. Working out nicely. Ravens start to chain together a couple of first downs, and they can become a flamboyant offense. Right back to Derrick Henry. Penalty marker is down in the vicinity of a face mask, and it's going to be holding. I was hopeful. Coming back, though. 3rd penalty today against the Baltimore Ravens, costing them 20 total yards. Right back to Derrick Henry, though. Hits the outside, brought down from behind. 6 yards picked up. Getting that yardage back from earlier. 2nd and 14 coming up. Ravens D-Hop equals Celtics Shack. That is hating. But you're probably going to be right. Not wrong at all. It appears that is Rashad Bateman. One-on-one with Denzel Ward. Haven't called his name yet today. Swing passes out there, caught by Flowers, and Ward will make the tackle the moment his name is called. Brown's able to force a 3rd and long. Ravens going to have to try to convert after shooting themselves in the foot again. It's happened a lot in recent memory. Got to get away from that bad habit, though. Jackson in the gun on 3rd and 9. Derrick Henry standing to his left. Play clock down to 10. Play clock down to 6 now. Isaiah likely in motion. Play action pass. Blitz coming from Newsome. Picked up as Jackson goes deep down the sideline. And Andrews is pushed out of bounds. Incomplete. What a play by Denzel Ward. Well, we'll have to check the replay, because that looked awful close. I'm actually curious. Wow. Won't even look at it. Stout is on for the punt as the Ravens again pick up a 1st down, and that's it. DeAndre Carter on the fair catch call. And this is looking like a Ravens trap game to the max right now. Would have been gorgeous. I am convinced, actually, that he got that. I'm going to go back and look at it in the stream, because I feel like he got both feet down there. Maybe not, though. Browns are fortunate to be back in possession. They have left so many points on the board. And somehow their defense fighting for a 7-7 game still. Flacco going deep downfield, knocked out of the hands, incomplete. Deontay Johnson could not hang on. And Darius Washington that time, I believe. No, it's actually Malachi Starks, the rookie, who knocked that out of the hands of Johnson, incomplete. Call him Coward Stefanski, there you go. 2nd and 10. After the Flacco deep ball winds up incomplete. Right back to it, though, angling this one to the sideline. Same result, this time it's Marlowe. PBU number 4. Ravens defense starting to do their own thing here. Only a matter of time, some might imagine, before they start taking scoring matters into their own hands. All tied up. Back-to-back incompletions, and now Flacco from the empty. Pumps left side and fires right. And a 2-yard loss there for Tillman. What up, the entree? PBU, yes, sir. Browns will end up going the wrong way. And a negative 2-yard drive. Defensive game does kind of make sense. Yeah, a little bit. Corey Bojorquez on for the punt, the lefty. One of the best in the business. Gets a lot of reps, though, with the Browns. A good punt here. And a good return as well up to the 41-yard line for Tylan Wallace. Cannot forget his magical punt return touchdown against the LA Rams in 2023. Solidified the Baltimore Ravens' eventual 1 seed. In a year again, though, they fell victim to the Kansas City Chiefs. Every team can make it that far. Just can't get over the hump. Browns showing pressure here. On 1st and 10, linebackers drop it. Here goes Justice Hill breaking a big one. Across the stripe as well. 14-yard gain. For a guy that doesn't get a lot of credit. Does all the dirty work. All the chip blocking, all the receiving. So Derrick Henry can have his 1st and 10s, and Lamar Jackson can have his clean pockets. I respect it. Ravens and Browns separated by just 4 total yards in this one. In 0 on the scoreboard. Handoff is to Henry, upended after a gain of 1.5 yards. Hey, shout out Justice Hill today. That is the guy. Been stealing touchdowns and stealing fantasy points, though, from Derrick Henry owners for quite some time. That is no lie. Jackson now on 2nd and 8, looking to throw the football downfield. Finds Likely, and a nice maneuver there. Able to pick up a 1st down with the heads-up play. 12-yard pickup to the Cleveland 31-yard line. Right now, the live poll with 13 total votes, 69% in favor of the Ravens. Going to let that marinate a little bit longer. Let some latecomers in here get their votes in for this one. Jackson looking to continue a rhythmic drive for Baltimore as the search for their first lead of the game continues up to the Browns' 31-yard line. Pocket collapsing, check down is in suit. Caught by Henry. D-Hop is playing, yeah. He actually might be the leading receiver today for Baltimore. Either him or Bateman. I think Bateman's got him beat by maybe a catch or two. But, yeah, D-Hop had 3 touchdown catches last week in their 18-point loss against Buffalo. Patrick Ricard, now the fullback, checks into the backfield off the play action to Henry. Is Lamar Jackson clobbered again? And a good heads-up play by the 2-time MVP to just throw that one away. Browns might be getting away with a couple late hits here. Raven fans starting to get restless in the crowd. Their guy has just been hit hard time and time again, especially from a division rival. You do not like to see it, even if it is legal. Browns forcing a 3rd and long once again. 4-man rush, Jackson backpedaling, fires this one down the field, broken up by the Warden. Denzel Ward saves the touchdown. And Tyler Loop will wind up attempting a 44-yarder. Rookie still looking for his first ever career field goal. Missed from 43 last week. This one from 44 yards away. Looking to give Baltimore the lead. Tyler Loop, the kick on the way, and it is good. Thought he hooked it right again, but the Ravens do lead. Inevitably. Good kick there from Tyler Loop. Baltimore's lead is a field goal. Joe Flacco back to it. 2:33 to go in the third quarter. Ravens in the driver's seat once again. As they really should be. This is a game that they dictate, but if you know anything about Baltimore, the other teams don't win games, they just lose them. This team lost week 2 last year to the Vegas Raiders, keep it in mind. Good return there from DeAndre Carter up to the 33. Browns special teams has been very, very good to their offense today. Their offense has not been nice to their defense or their special teams, though. 3 red zone drives and 7 points total. Quite disappointing. But here we go. Ravens fans here at the bank getting back into it. Their team leads for the first time today. Handoff is to Quinshon Judkins, and he'll pick up just a yard. Washington on the tackle again. Good play from the Baltimore defensive backfield. Establishing their presence up front early. 1 yard picked up that time for Judkins. Starting to fall quiet here in the second half. Joe Flacco looking to get loud, finding Njoku across midfield as he begins to take over. The Chief has been getting his reps. Had himself a magical game back in 2023. In the Browns' 33-31 win over the Ravens. In a year where both teams ended up making the postseason. Finishing first and second in the AFC North a couple of years ago. Judkins is hammered down. Big time TFL by Nnamdi Madubuike. Wow. 4 yards lost on the play. Browns sent back to their own half. You can hear that from up here. Ouch is right. Judkins, though, able to shake it off. Returning to the backfield on 2nd and 14. Gets the handoff up the middle. Surprising run play there by the Browns, but they will take it. An 8-yard gain for Judkins into the final minute of the third quarter as we approach the witching hour in Baltimore, Maryland. 1-score game. Will they win become a loss and a loss become a win? We'll find out soon. Deontay Johnson, the guy to keep an eye on here on 3rd and 6. Flacco backpedaling, fires this one low and behind Njoku, but he readjusts with the first down catch in stride. Wow. Judkins might be a mini Nick Chubb. I like that. Could be a quiet little pickup. I'm hoping Chuba Hubbard, though, has a bigger week than he did this week. I guess it's not done. He did. Could all work the same. Kyle Van Noy ready to storm off the edge here. He'll drop back though. Flacco on first and 10. Checked out, caught by Johnson. 7-yard gain will take us to the fourth quarter. 3 points separate the old Browns and the new Browns. With 10 to go at M&T Bank Stadium, the Ravens lead 10-7 at the end of 3. Here we go. Excited to see how this final quarter unpacks. The Browns, though, have just been quietly lurking around. Haven't scored in quite some time. Ravens on a 10-0 run entering the fourth quarter. Handoff is to Judkins and a 5-yard loss. Roquan Smith is there, burying Judkins into the backfield. The rookie has got to get used to a couple of negative rushes in his life. How do you bounce back from that? Big play coming up here for the Browns. They feel confident this should be field goal range, but Joe Flacco wants more than that from the 32. Fires this one down the field, and a brutal hit by Nate Wiggins forces that one ajar. Tillman couldn't hang on. Flacco dishing out hospital balls. Ravens make the stop. When the Bears would have drafted Roquan, yeah, whatever happened to him in Chicago, huh? Dustin Hopkins looking to tie the game here at 10 apiece from 49 yards out. Kick up and good. 10-10, 9:24 to go in the fourth quarter. Been a really great defensive game between these two teams. The Browns have been getting harder in stops. Ravens have forced an interception as well as a turnover on downs, though. Been doing harder work when it matters most. Which offense, though, will wake up here in the fourth quarter? Seems like they're both starting to get going a little bit later than they would have liked. Big drive coming up here, though, for the Baltimore Ravens as we end the poll. Justice Hill looking for an explosive return, and he'll only find the 24-yard line. Ravens are the favorites to win the game right now with the football and the two-time MVP at the helm, wearing number 8, Lamar Jackson. Tie game, hey, anything's possible. It is definitely a possibility. See what happens here, though. Ravens once again able to get out of a jam thanks to that electric defense. Nate Wiggins definitely been the MVP today. Big pass break up there and the interception. Mark Andrews on the check down. Picks up 5. Jordan Hicks also picks up 5. That is his tackles accumulated on the afternoon. Anything less than a touchdown scary for the pick'em? I'd argue even that wouldn't make it safe. Obviously a lot less scary. Well, you are absolutely correct. Browns look to be in the nickel here. Showing blitz once more. On 2nd and 5, this time they do. Quick pass here from Jackson. Finds Likely out in stride. And a terrific crosser. 200 yards passing today now for Lamar Jackson. Only the lone touchdown, though. So that did go down as a passing touchdown. We can now confirm that for the fantasy statistics for my members in chat. Big swing there. Jackson, though, looking for another legacy drive here at home in front of thousands of Raven fans. Handoff is to Justice Hill. Good tackle made at the 44-yard line. And again, it is Devin Bush. All right. I still think I'm wrong about that. I'm not sure if that's Devin Bush. He used to have hair like that, but I thought he got rid of it. Double check that in a little bit. Once again, been a very quiet day for Myles Garrett. Signed that massive contract. Hasn't really shown his worth since, as here is Hopkins. Hops his way out of bounds. Doesn't look like he picked up anything there. Actually lost about 2 full yards. 3rd and 10 coming up. 7:37 left in regulation. Huge 3rd down for the Ravens. Justice Hill will remain in the ball game. On 3rd and long, Browns looking for another stop here. Trying to get the ball back in the hands of Joe Flacco, and that'll happen. Way too low for DeAndre Hopkins. Not a good toss there from Jackson. Might have had a hand in his face, which could have helped. Oh, Sharon Baker. That would make sense. Yeah, got him from Miami. Ravens, though, coming away pointless from that drive. That is significant. Jordan Stout on for the punt. DeAndre Carter on the return. And he is hit back at the 19-yard line. Big blow delivered inside the 20. Joe Flacco, though, very excited for this upcoming drive. Why wouldn't he be? He could take the lead against his former team. No respect lost between the two. It simply was his time to move on. Ravens made a great decision, though. Jackson will go on to win the MVP in his first full season. Check down, finally held on to through a hit. That is Jerry Jeudy. Got a lot of justice going around the building. Justice Hill, Judge Jeudy, serving some justice there with a 5-yard gain. It's a big play on 2nd and 5. A leverage battle right now. Tug of war inside the game between the Browns and the Ravens. And this play won by Baltimore. Matabike almost got Joe Flacco down. But it takes a lot more than just a hit for old man Joe to collapse. Sets up a 3rd and 5. And here we go. 3rd and 5, Joe Flacco looking for the 29-yard line. Steps up and fires this one through traffic. What a big-time catch by Cedric Tillman. Kyle Van Noy. Wow. Sorry, Kyle Hamilton. Tell you what, Cedric Tillman probably could have told you what he had for breakfast this morning. That's how close he was. Maintains the catch, though. What a play. Flacco and the Browns drive continues now. Up to the 30. Jeudy in motion. Gets the jet sweep, and the Ravens are all over that one. It's a loss of 2. That time it is Kyle Van Noy. Advantage Baltimore. Here we go. This game is going to be a grind. 2nd and a dozen. Roquan Smith in his X Factor. Lighting up just when they need him to. Flacco checking this one now. Caught by Njoku, running upfield. And he picks up the 12 they needed. Browns move up to the 40-yard line. Big play for the Browns. What up, Joey Lewis? We got another Charger fan in there. Okay. That's a rarity. Love to see it, though. Glad to have you in chat for a big 4th quarter. Browns are taking their time on a crucial drive. Outside hand up to Judkins, a loss of 3. Pendulum is swinging with the pace of a metronome right now. Back and forth. Time and time again. Wow. Ravens win 1st down time and time again. Can they win a 2nd down? Deep drop for Flacco. Low and caught by Jeudy up the field. Tackled near the 1st down. 3rd and inches. Clock is becoming a huge issue, especially if they can't get a stop here. Big play coming up for old man Joe. Can he get it done? 3rd down and half of a football from the midfield stripe. A battle of the big boys up front. Hand up to Judkins, and the Browns win the play. 1st down to the 48-yard line. Under 4 to go. Ravens going to start to get desperate as the Browns march near field goal range here at M&T Bank Stadium. This is actually terrific time management from Cleveland. Don't even want to give Lamar Jackson the football back. Why give him the opportunity? Hitting the edge here is Judkins trying to stay in bounds and ruled out after a 7-yard gain. Ooh. Flash Gordon might be from the future or something. Bruce projected the Browns' drive to just come to a close. We'll see. 7-yard pick up there by Quinshad Judkins. And an underneath run going backward. Kyle Van Noy sniffs it out. Jeudy cannot sneak behind for any longer. Browns are not in a position to kick a field goal, by the way. They punted earlier from 37 yards away from the end zone. Would have been a 54-yarder. Would be 61 from here. D-Hop's career high 59. Pass downfield, though, caught by Johnson. Another huge catch through contact. First down, Browns again. How many plays is this drive? Got to imagine we are into double digits. Tyvo looking smart. You're not even wrong. Looking really good at the moment. One more play before the 2-minute warning. Ravens going to have to start to burn some timeouts here. Judkins going back inside. Nothing doing that time. No gain. Back to the 32. Charger haters in this chat. I mean, we have a lot of Chief fans, some Bronco fans, and one really dedicated Raider fan. So that'll happen. Browns are going to line up to snap the ball, though. Don't have to. Try to catch the Ravens off guard, and that's not going to happen. TFL for Metabike. On the 20th carry for Quinshad Judkins, he will lose a crucial yard. Why do that, though? Throw the football if you're going to do anything. Madden maybe not cooking with the clock management. Huge play here, though. What does Kevin Stefanski have dialed up out of the 2-minute warning? Handoff is to Judkins, and he is taken down well short. Ravens will have a shot. Browns have to kick the field goal first, though. Dustin Hopkins is no sure kicker. Missed a 34-yarder, I believe, indoor at Caesars Superdome last year. So, we'll see. Hopefully they don't mess up Pete Carroll's record. Facts. Dustin Hopkins looking to give the Browns a late lead here. 48 yards away, kick up, and good. Buck 53 for the two-time MVP to cook up. Field goal to tie, touchdown to win. You do not want to leave it on the leg of the rookie Tyler Loop, who has been shaky thus far, just 1 for 2 in his young NFL career, although 1 for 1 today when it mattered most. Here we go. 31 people in chat right now. Drop a like if you have not yet already. Close game down to the wire. And subscribe if you are new. Do this basically every single day. Your team will be playing shortly. Ravens on the return. Looking for an explosion out of their special teams. Not going to happen again. Browns have been all over that today. And so Lamar Jackson, 2 timeouts, a minute 49, and a 74-yard football field to win a game and avoid 0-2. 0-2 would be absolutely brutal for Baltimore. Don't want that to happen whatsoever. 2-minute drill time for Lamar Jackson. Mark Andrews is the motion man. Jackson steps up, hit by Myles Garrett, and when you need him most, he shows up. Knocks him down on the incompletion. 2nd and 10 now with a minute 46 to go. Can't imagine the Ravens will at least pick up a first down here. Browns defense, though, has just been winning the leverage battles up front, causing some chaos in the backfield. Hand off to Justice Hill up the middle, and when they need him most, he picks up a big gain of 13. Wow. Browns give up a double-digit play rushing on 2nd and 10. Inexcusable. Just when I was giving them a compliment, too. This game is something else. John Harbaugh now going to order the troops into the no-huddle. Blitz coming, Jackson being swarmed, and he is sacked by Jerome Baker. 11-yard loss, and finally the Browns get home. Jackson has been on the ground so much today, like a summer ant. Just hasn't been sacked with a football until now. Wow. Myles Garrett blows that play up again into the final minute. Blitz coming. Pass is caught by Andrews. He'll pick up 7. But the Ravens have to burn a timeout. Under a minute to go in the 4th quarter. Wow. This is why I don't gamble. Amen to that, LaShawn. Amen to that. Every lock you think you have. The Ravens are 11.5-point favorites in this game, by the way, in real life. This would be something else. Looking to get to at least the 35 for field goal range. Jackson downfield through the seams, connecting again with Justice Hill, the unsung hero. First down, Baltimore. What up, Noah Herod? Browns are just getting I don't know, man. It's that defense. It is a nasty defense right now, all things considered. Ravens hang on to that final timeout. 30 seconds to go in the no huddle. Jackson looking deep. Stepping up in the pocket. Sacked again by Malik Collins. Got to throw it away there. Doesn't happen. Timeout Ravens, their final of the half. Went up the strongest. No coup. Lamar got to dial it in here late. Ravens wishing they took better care of the clock at the end of the first half. That's costing them big time right now. Unbelievable. Ravens again out of timeouts. Down a field goal on 2nd and 13. Jackson got to be smart with the football here. Dancing around the pocket. Steps up at midfield. Hit as he fires and the game remains alive. Boy, that got fishy. Had no idea where the pressure was. Couldn't feel it around him. Stepped up and nearly lost the game. A-Rod calling for intentional grounding. Officials claim it was deflected. Ravens live to see another down. Just got to give Lamar time to make something happen. Jackson stepping up in the pocket. Fires this one incomplete. Man. And in all likelihood, the game will come down to this. A-Rod calling for the game-winning Browns interception right here. Will it happen? 4th and 13. The Browns looking to finish off a stunning upset from the 47. Jackson fires downfield. It's caught by Bateman, but inbounds. No one to turn to. Time is going to expire, and the Cleveland Browns, 11.5-point underdogs, win at M&T Bank Stadium as they improve to 1-1 on the season. A disastrous 2-minute drill for the Baltimore Ravens. Wow. What a stunner. 3 pick'ems picked the Browns today. 2 undefeated ones left. We'll take a look at the player highlights here, or the player stats, I should say, real quick. For fantasy purposes, there is Lamar and Joe's passing. We'll take a look at rushing as well, and then head over to the receiving side of things. But, man, Rashad Bateman with the stat pad. Why would they throw it down the middle? Madden, again, with just inexcusable time management. Let me tell you, though, the Browns deserve that game. What a defensive effort. Mason Graham, Isaiah McGuire, Jordan Hicks, and Jerome Baker. Unbelievable. Google Big Bill House Car. I know the video you're talking about. That is an iconic video. Wow. What a game, though. Another huge upset in the Sim season. Ravens 0-2 to start off the year in a low-scoring loss to the Browns at home. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, though. I don't even remember what's up tomorrow. Let me take a look at the list before I send you guys on your way here so we can anticipate what we got coming up in week number 2. Tomorrow is the Jaguars and the Bengals, so keeping it in the AFC, heading to Paycor Stadium, which would be a little bit northwest of M&T Bank. Looking forward to that one, though. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Drop a like on your way out, and I will see all of you